Hi guys, this is Tablet-News.com and I'm here with a review of a pretty generous screen tablet. It's called the Blackview Mega 8. You can buy it on AliExpress for around $200, which is actually not bad. The box of the product is very interesting because it promises up to 36 gigabytes of RAM. And that's an excellent way to do a clickbait and open up a review, but it's not exactly a clickbait once you see here that the RAM is 12 gigs plus an extra 24 added from the storage. Okay, so the selling point here is probably the fact that you're getting a stylus in the box, a case, as well as a pretty generous resolution main camera, and believe it or not, we even have a PC mode here and even dual SIM slots. So not bad for, I would say, an entry-level tablet. It's got a Unisoc processor, it's got a 50 megapixel main camera with AI, some AI features which will arrive later, and we have it in Twilight Blue. Now the review is starting. Let's see what the device is all about. So the Twilight Blue hue looks pretty fine in my book. The tablet is pretty hefty, just in case you're wondering. How hefty? Well, 736 grams is the weight, 7.9 millimeters in thickness, and measures 300 to over 195 millimeters. That's the height and length. The body is made of aluminum. It's got pretty large bezels around the screen, as you can see for yourselves here. But sometimes, as I keep saying in some reviews, these bezels are actually a blessing in disguise because they offer enough room to rest your thumbs like this when you're watching a video. Okay, so we also have an audio jack, which is something you don't see every day, and we're also getting a cover case, which I'm going to show you right now. So this is the cover case. It's bundled, it's not sold separately. What's sold separately is a special case with a keyboard. Now you're going to put this here like this, close it up like this, and this actually reminds me of the iPad accessories with this, the way it flips like this in stages. The good news is that you can also flip it at the back side, turn it into sort of a small pyramid, and prop it up like this so you can watch your videos no matter what you're looking at. So for example, if I'm going here, I have this clip here, it's a test video, and as you can see, the device is propped up thanks to that case accessory that we're getting here. Once again, kudos for including an audio jack. Now on this note, we move further and we're discussing the screen of the tablet. This one is a 13-incher, and as you probably have guessed, we're not dealing with an AMOLED, we're rather dealing with an LCD. So for the current standard, it's quite a bright screen. The color palette is not as wide as the OLEDs, but this LCD is actually doing quite fine. Indoor lighting is fine, and even outdoors it's just decent. But all in all, 13 inches is a lot. Definitely replaces one of the smaller laptops if you also attach a keyboard. We also did some tests, and let's actually check them out because we have them saved here. Okay, so the measurement should be available here. Go to the photos. This is a lux meter placed on the screen of the tablet, and it's showing 693 lux. Just so you know, this is actually doing better than the recently tested Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra, which had 687 lux, and it's also better than the iPad 10 2022, which had 537 lux. So yes, it's brighter than those panels. And we also have some settings for this screen. So we go here, and then we go to the display section. We got adaptive brightness, we got a dark mode, we got a night light, font settings, automatic screen off, which is, I should probably set it higher a bit. Okay, and as well as screen attention, so yeah, it prevents you if you're looking at it from another way. Video display enhancement is available here as well. For YouTube and other applications, you can actually activate it. It's not activated right now. And color temperature and screen optimization are also part of the package if you're working with photos and want to see them in the proper color. And there's even one more feature here. So you have a special application pre-installed. It's called Sketchbook. And in the box of the tablet, you're gifted with a stylus. It's, I would say, a rather typical stylus, which should work with any screen. It's not any special sort of stylus, but you can definitely see it here, selecting a variety of brushes in this application, and then you can maybe start a new one. You can even select a ruler, variety of instruments, geometrical forms, and so much more. Ballpoint pen, draw a straight line. I have to get accustomed to it, but this is the core panel you're going to be working with. as you do more things. You can also input text, you can also add video, so this is quite a complex app called Sketchbook. So yeah, stylus support is also available, the stylus is in the box, that's the screen, and now we go further. Now the innards of the tablet will definitely be explored by looking at the About section. You can see here all that matters. So the Blackview Mega 8 has a Unisoc processor, Unisoc T620. It's an octa-core chip accompanied by 12 gigs of RAM and also 256 gigabytes of storage, which is actually not half bad. Now, let's see what words we're getting here. So the processor was launched about a year ago. It's a 12 nanometer CPU. It has a Mali G57 GPU. And believe it or not, we also have a micro SD card slot. It's actually a hybrid system. You can either insert two SIM cards or one micro SD and one SIM cards, which is actually pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, there's that. Now, the performance is fine. I mean, it's not a gaming tablet and it's not the snappiest in the world, but it's also not very laggy. So yeah, I would say quite decent when it comes to day-to-day usage. By the way, the screen I mentioned before has a 1920 over 1200 pixels. Now, we talked about the processor, we talked about the RAM, we talked about the micro SD, and we also did some benchmarks for this device, and you're going to see them here. Let's actually check them out. Now, I didn't come here expecting any hardcore tablet, but I would say the performance is rather modest, and you can see that in some of the tests we achieved. We did the core ones being Geekbench 6, and here is the Antutu. I would say it fights something like a Galaxy Tab A8 or Galaxy Tab A series from, let's say, 3 years ago. It's not exactly hip. Right now, hip devices are reaching 2 million points in Antutu 10. Once again, it's not for gaming. That's not the idea you're getting here. It's more for reading books, watching movies, scribbling notes, and things for students. That's what I would say. It also doesn't overheat no matter what I threw at it, no matter which applications I use, no matter the charging, Riptide Renegade, Sketchbook. I didn't encounter any overheating, and that's the good news. But keep in mind that the score of 3000 points is small nowadays for the expectations. Now for the battery, I have to say that the battery is quite generous here. You can see that we're getting a rather big battery here. Compared to the tablets we recently tested, this is our sister site. And you can see here some of the tablets we've tested. This is the Blackview Mega 8. And it should also list the impressive battery we have here. It's actually an 11,000 mAh unit. And the good news is that we're also getting a charger, which I'm going to show you. This is the charger available in the box. It's branded Blackview, and it charges the device at 18 watts, and it has an USB-A connector. Now, I'm pretty sure you're wondering how the device is doing when it comes to the video playback time tests. Okay, so things are pretty straightforward now. We actually did multiple tests, and the first one was the HD video playback in a loop. So we achieved 15 hours and 36 minutes, which is actually not that bad. It's supposed to be quite good here. It's actually on the 5th spot from all the tablets we've tested. You can see here that we have a whole page with the tests we did. So 15 hours and 36 minutes of video playback. Now it surpasses the Blackview Tab 11, which we tested before, and the Huawei MatePad 11.5. Perhaps more relevant is another test, which I'm going to show you now. So if we go here into the photos, you'll see that we have actually done another test, which is called PC Mark. It simulates continuous usage, and I'm honestly more impressed by this one. 13 hours and 3 minutes. What this means is that this is the 4th spot all times from the dozens of tablets we've tested, surpasses Galaxy Tab S9 Fan Edition and the Huawei MatePad 11 and 11.5. Now the charging is a bit on the long side as expected for such a large tablet and such a slow charging of 18 watts. 3-4 hours will definitely be required. But at the end of the day, you're getting 13 hours of work, which is actually not that bad. Now, when it comes to the rest of the specs, it's time to talk about the speakers. You can see from the holes what we're getting here. So 2 speakers here, 2 speakers here. It's a quad speaker setup, stereo setup, and the experience will be shown right away. So we have a typical sound test to show you. It's this one here. Let me just turn it up a bit. Okay, so definitely don't turn it all the way to the max. The volume is quite high and the sound may be a bit annoying. The high notes are a bit too intense. The bass is modest, but for casual audition of games, videos and music, I would say it's quite fine. Now, on our sister site, we have the test here. Volume power is listed here. 94.9 decibels at the left side and 96.1 decibels at the right side. These are measured with a decibel meter with a typical acoustic sample. Is the second spot all time, beating all the Huawei MatePads and all the Samsung tablets we've tested, while in games such as Asphalt, we achieved an amazing 100.1 decibels, beating Huawei MatePad 10, MatePad Pro, Galaxy Tabs, Xiaomi Pad Pros, and so forth. Once again, good news is that we're also getting here, we should also be getting a audio jack here somewhere. Oh, this is it. It's in the corner here. This is the audio jack. You can insert your headphones for excellent audition. Okay, we've talked about everything now, speakers, etc. And let's talk about the cameras. So the front camera, which is cut in here, is a 13 megapixel shooter with full HD capture, while at the back side, where we even have a flash, we have a 50 megapixel camera. I don't know why there are two sensors here. Perhaps it could be a secondary camera, but on paper we're promised a 50 megapixel experience and full HD capture. We're also promised AI, so if you go into the camera application, I'm actually covering it up right now. So we have options like HDR, we have 2x zoom, we have volume key features. This is the back camera which you can select. You can select the photos, composition, burst, anti-banding, and capture is limited, as I said before, to full HD. There's a beauty option, there's a portrait option, capture and video. Let me confirm that the resolution is indeed full HD. Okay, once you're done with the camera, and as you know, I'm not a big proponent on using the camera on such a large tablet, we actually have some samples for you, modest ones. This tablet is almost 800 grams in weight, so yeah, my colleague took a few shots of his Pokemon cards, a few selfies in the studio while shooting stuff, so I would say it's decent. Maybe at the level of a Samsung Galaxy A20 series or A16 or things like that. It's just okay for taking shots of your, I don't know, Pokemon card collection, documents for school and other such things. So basic photos are achieved. On the connectivity side, I have a lot of good news, culminating with the fact that you can insert two SIM cards here. You have a SIM card 1 and SIM card 2. You also have GPS, GLONASS, Galileo. We have 4G LTE. Let's see what else. Of course, Wi-Fi dual band. There's Bluetooth 5 here. And even Android Auto is part of the package. If we can attach this to your dashboard of your car, you have Android Auto. We also did a bunch of tests with speed test. And you can see the results here. So we go here, we achieved up to 251 mega per second in download, 321 mega per second in upload on Wi-Fi. So I would say we're doing fine. We also have an USB-C 2.0 port at the bottom, and Bluetooth is 5.0, forgot to mention. And Wi-Fi once again is dual band. Now for the operating system, I'm going to show this separately and put this out of the case. The tablet runs on Android 15 and comes with Widevine support. Yes, Widevine, which means you have Disney Plus available on it and Netflix if you want to Netflix and chill. But the most important thing here is probably the PC mode, which can be activated from here. Once you enter this PC mode, it's a Windows-like experience. You can easily connect a mouse and a keyboard, and you should be enjoying an experience just like the Windows. I mean, truly like the Windows. You can open up windows and move them around. You can also resize them, close them with an X, and as you can see, you can have multiple apps open at the same time. Imagine them all open on the screen and being moved around with a mouse and a keyboard used to type everything you need here. You can also enlarge them if you want to. You can go full screen. You can close them with an X. And once everything is said and done, you can actually do your tweaks from here. You can see the battery life from here. You can do searches from here. Basically, it's mimicking an experience akin to the Windows One. Actually, Phil, I forgot to show you something. I forgot to show you the virtual keyboard, which is available in multiple, I would say, hues. So if you go here, I have it split here, but you can also unite it if you want. You can also have it like this. You can also do this. So yeah, it depends on what you want. I also installed the Microsoft Swift key, or it was pre-installed, can't remember exactly. And there's also AI functionality here. For one thing, we have Gemini, if I remember correctly. Yes, Google Gemini is available on the tablet. You can ask it stuff. We even have Gemini Live for a more conversational experience. You can also share the screen and share the camera with it if you want to show it what's in the fridge and ask for a recipe using what's inside the fridge. The interface is familiar, it's nothing you haven't seen before on Android, and I have to say there are quite a few options here in the settings to use. SIM cards, other wireless connection is available, display, wallpaper and personalization, sound and vibration, which should have a maybe a how do you call it, equalizer, gestures and keys, apps and notifications, auxiliary function, atomic memory, call recording. This is the security with face unlock and password. This is the privacy section, location, safety and emergency, the battery features, which include a special performance mode, battery saver and super power saving, as well as charging protection. RAM and storage space are available here. Accessibility, and by the way, this tablet does not suffer from any sort of throttling, so it only lost 7% of the performance once we did a throttling test. So all in all, it's quite fine, and since it has the whole SIM slot thing, you also have the ability to place calls from here if you want to. You can send text messages if you want to. You can also take notes, as I've shown you before, and there are several other apps, including some of them incoming. We have the promise of an update which will bring us features like Hi Doc, a vocal assistant, Image X, a photo editing application, Vision app, video editing. So yeah, you're going to have to download them for them to function, but right now you can probably handle yourself if you're doing the whole editing from here. Unblur, dynamic, enhance, color pop, brightness, things like that. And these also contribute using AI. You also have the magic editor. So yeah, till those AI features will arrive, those should be good enough. Okay, we're at the end of the review. This is called the Blackview Mega 8. I'm actually quite hyped because of the accessories and the connectivity. So there's a case in the box, there's a stylus in the box, there's a charger in the box. We have a 50 megapixel back camera, we have quad speakers, we have a micro SD, we have two 4G card slots, we have audio jack here in the corner, which is something you don't see every day, up to 36 gigs of RAM taken from the storage. So a pretty solid package for around $200 or 200 euros on AliExpress. Now, don't go expecting gaming here, but do go expecting Netflix, Disney Plus, and some productivity courtesy of that note-taking application and Gemini and a few other features which will come soon. So pretty solid, and actually the battery life is the one that impressed me the most, which is to be expected as such a hefty tablet. This has been the review of the Blackview Mega 8. Find it on AliExpress now. Goodbye.